Today we are exploring what has Kevin seen that people have done with their motorcycles that they really should not do. Let's start soft. I want you to keep the nice and juicy one for later on. What is kind of a bizarre thing you've seen someone do to their motorcycle?
Cut frames, frame members that are really crucial to make bobbers.
So are we talking about professional guys cutting frames?
No.
Okay. What's the story? When this guy comes with a cut frame, how's he coming at it to you?
He's coming at it like he wants to get this thing safety and he wants it back on the road, but yet the frame's been tampered with. So how do you deal with that?
I guess this becomes more less of a fixing problem and a lot more of a explaining to the guy that he screwed up.
You screwed up.
Yeah.
That's right. Number two.
Number two. What's the most jacked up thing you've seen?
Okay, let's start with the newbie. The guy who seen the guys on TV. They can ride a bike. Back when I was 12, I rode a bike once. And they get on a bike that's too big for them. And they decide, too powerful.
Yeah.
And they decide that they drop the clutch, hit the throttle, and they go bouncing into the curb and dropping the brand new bike right there after they've signed the contract.
I think I know exactly what time you're referring to. And it was a green Ninja 650.
Yeah.
And it was about a foot tall curb. And the lady made it over the curb. The bike did not.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's pretty jacked up. Learn how to drive before you pick up your motorcycle.
Another thing, one of my pet peeves, is the guy who's yay-high to a grasshopper, but yet...
So yay-high to a grasshopper means short.
It means short. But yet he wants a bike that's too tall for him. Because he figures bigger is better, and this one's 1,000. This one's only 500. But the 500 fits him, but he wants the 1,000. So now he wants miracles to happen where he wants his feet to touch the ground. And unfortunately, that makes the bike unstable.
Or you're losing a bunch of travel. So you can lower bikes. And I could understand where some riders, you're not at a certain age, you're just not going to get taller. And they'll learn to deal with the motorcycle. But if you're starting out, you should definitely go with a bike that fits you first. And then once you're used to it, you can deal with only touching with your tippy toes. If you insist on being flat-footed, that could be an issue depending on the type of bike you want to drive, right?
That's right.
So, yeah, so it's a jacked up thing to do, says Kevin. Don't do it.
Well, I've seen my share of what they call the whiskey throttle. Again, I rode a bike when I was 10, so now I am 25, and I'm going to buy a bike, maybe that's too big for me. And I get all scared and I kind of do my natural instinct and go, whoa, like this. And then now the bike is in control of you instead of you in control of it. And that's a terrible scenario.
Yeah, because that's so the whiskey throttle is the panic when you white knuckle. White knuckle means I'm squeezing it hard enough that there's no blood in my fingers, my knuckles are going white. But when you do that with a motorcycle that the throttle moves, you end up cracking that thing all the way open and you're just along for the ride at that point. So
bike's in control.
Yeah. So whiskey throttle drives you. You don't drive it. I've seen some funky stuff in your shop a few times. What is the most head scratching thing that you've seen come in?
I've seen all kinds of people who think they know about camshafts and try all kinds of different stuff and bending valves and
what?
And bending valves.
So someone came to you and figured a bent valve would be better than a straight valve?
Exactly.
Okay. So mechanical principle, a valve is what goes in, lets your air in and out. That is in a seal, and it has to have a perfect seal at the bottom of the valve when it closes. It has to have a perfect seal up top so oil doesn't go leak in. If your valve is bent, it's going to jack up all that shit. So a bent valve usually signifies a non-running engine.
That's right.
So if you think a bent valve is better, you are officially dumb. Seriously, leave it to the professionals. So, no bent valves.
Yeah, no YouTube warriors.
And was that someone that played with their camshaft as well?
Absolutely.
Like erotically?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
No erotic camshaft, please.
Yeah. I've seen it done before. I can do it.
Yeah, that's the YouTube thing. Like we're on YouTube right now, but we're not telling you how to do this. We're not telling you should do it. We're telling you should let professionals do it.
That's right.
And we're professionals.
And we're professionals.
Sometimes.
Most of the times.
Yeah. Okay. What else? What is the weirdest project you've seen?
1981 Honda Goldwing.
Okay. GL 1000?
GL 1100. Made into a trike, but with a differential of a car, and a real short differential, with two big wheels from a 1951 Ford Packard.
What?
Yeah, big wheels, white walls.
So where did you find all this crap?
I guess I'm just lucky. I like old shit.
So he kept the front of the Goldwing?
That's right.
And then put this axle in the back?
That's right.
And did you ride this death trap?
No, I had to make it work.
Did you?
I did. It came in pieces. I assembled it. I welded. I ran wires. I made that shit work.
And you weren't confident enough to go for a ride?
Absolutely not. Down the laneway and back.
Okay. That sounds pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
But trikes in general, I get the allure for the gentleman who can't ride anymore or who's worried about like the balance and stuff. But they're just terrible to drive.
Yeah.
Like they just have that weird little wibbly to them. And then a Spider, I won't rag on them too much, but you lose a lot of what's fun with a motorcycle, which is the leaning in corners. I think the solution is 100% the sidecar.
Absolutely.
So the sidecar is like just as much fun as a motorcycle to drive. You're not taking anything away. It's a completely new experience, but you're taking the whole balance thing out of it.
That's right.
Well, for the most part.
Yep. And you can put your best friend in the side and try to raise him up as you get coffee when you turn the corner and you're up and down.
I could do that pretty good.
I know you can.
I can keep him there for a while. Yeah. The Ural's coming.
You bought one?
I did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, all-wheel drive?
Yeah, well, two-wheel.
Two-wheel, yeah.
The front wheel, I guess I could put pedals on it.
Oh, no, actually, did they? No, it was just the rear wheel.
Yeah. So I could engage that rear and
away you go
for some winter trips.
I think I'll take my Royal Enfield.
Yeah.
With the sidecar. I love it.
Yeah. And Royal Enfield with the sidecar. So, Kev, do you still have the picture in your toolbox?
Absolutely.
So, I was working with Kevin. I started maybe about 12 years ago. We were working at the same shop together. And Kevin set up a sidecar on a Royal Enfield motorcycle. And we decided to go for a ride together. So I was sitting in the sidecar. I was the monkey. And we went to Tim Hortons and came back.
That's right.
The picture's still in his toolbox. There's not even pictures of his kids in his toolbox. Yet I'm there.
Very true. Oh, yes.
So, what is the most jacked up thing you've seen? What is the biggest head scratcher, the biggest what the fuck moment that you've ever seen related to motorcycles and people? Would it be Jawa and a grate?
No, Jawa.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We'll leave Jawa and a grate for another
We'll
day.
leave Jawa and a grate. I think the most interesting problem that I've gone through is working on a Chinese CJ750, the old Chinese sidecar that they used in World War I, and they used making movies with Bruce Lee, and the cops would run them around. I've had an electrical problem where the stuff happening on this electromagnetic charging system was just phenomenal. What should be negative was positive, and it just...
So so the bike was jacked up. It's not someone who did something jacked up.
No.
I think I'm going to jog your memory a little bit about what I think is the most jacked up bike I've seen. And this gentleman, I saw two bikes that he fully jacked up. We're going to leave his name out of it, obviously. Think crazy amount of wiring. And not nice wiring. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Not yet.
2010 Voyager. Guy traded in, bought a Goldwing, the new version Goldwing.
Right.
And he had lights all over the place.
Oh, yes.
And all kinds of stuff going on that bike.
Yes.
So that motor, and it wasn't the original motor.
Nope, that's right.
But I think that's the most jacked up bikes I've ever seen.
Yep.
Those were jacked up. You remember those?
Oh yes, oh yes. Lights for everything and wiring running from one end to the other for all kinds of different accessory applications.
And rat's nest wiring.
Oh yes.
Like, you know, you'd like to do a nice clean job,
That's
put a
right.
loom and like, you know, make it look factory. Nope. This was under the seat, out of sight, out of mind.
That's right.
And like miles of wiring. A stupid amount.
Yeah.
You could have like wired up a small country with the amount of wiring he had on that bike. Yeah.
That's
well,
true.
like a small country that doesn't really have power. But anyways.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
that's about it.
that guy jacks up his bikes.
Oh yes.
So-
oh yes, he's got all the time in the
And then-
world.
I'm sure you've seen it as well, where, oh, you've seen this for sure. So I've been at your place and seen this. So the guys that put these tiny little air filters on CV carb, on constant velocity carbs.
Yeah.
So can you explain to us how a constant velocity carb works and why you shouldn't do that?
Let's stay with the old Hondas, for example.
Yep.
Right? Now, once you start restricting the air, that slide that has to move all depending on where the RPMs are, and it doesn't go from 0 to hero. It's a smooth transition from the bottom to the top.
So that the engine runs smooth.
So the engine runs smoothly. Once you start restricting the air, then you start having a whole bunch of lean spots all over the place.
So the slide flutters.
Yeah.
Instead of going up and down, it
Nicely.
bounces.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the tuning, how's the tuning of that CV carb? How does the factory tune that CV carb?
Well, they tune it with the air box, which is a controlled pressurized box with the air coming in, right? And then at this point, everything is set with the low pressures of the engine, and everything works dandy.
So as soon as you jack up that air box, the CV carb movement is just not right.
It's out the door. That's right.
And then if you go to the extreme of completely taking away the air box and putting these nice little filters because you think you're building a weekend racer, you're throwing those carbs for a loop.
That's right. Going backwards.
Yeah. So getting that thing to run smooth. So that bike, I think you know the bike I'm thinking about. Did you ever get that thing to run right?
Oh, the little pods on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, right, this thing needs a lot of fuel, and fuel economy goes out the door. You give it lots of fuel, and that way it runs half decent.
So
it's not the best.
So performance-wise, you go backwards.
You go backwards.
So playing around with airbox on a carbureted bike, you're jacking it up. Don't be an idiot. Leave it alone. Right. The factory obviously knows better than you for some stuff. Not when it comes to emissions. They're playing for the wrong team on that one. You can jack up that shit. So those are some of the crazy things Kevin, the motorcycle guru, has seen over the years with people do to their motorcycles. Don't be an idiot. Don't follow in those footsteps. I'm Jeremy from Pink Orange. This is Kevin, the motorcycle guru. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time with some more things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on there, soft and slow.
Here you go.